Welcome to our session, XQ, How They Did It. My name is Tara Bartlett. I'm a marketing manager with iQmetrix, and I'll be moderating the session today. I am very excited to have two awesome clients joining us today, Scott Ehrenstein of Connectivity Source and Joel Gannon with SaskTel, who will be sharing their stories of launching XQ Interactive Retail, best practices they've learned along the way, and some of the results that they've seen to date. As you heard in this morning's product announcements, we now have over 1,100 XQ screens deployed in over 200 locations across US and Canada. Connectivity Source and SaskTel are among these and are truly leading the way in delivering a first-class in-store experience. And with that, I will introduce Scott. Scott is the president of Connectivity Source, an industry leader in the retail and business wireless communications industry. Scott has experience in business management, sales, event coordination, and marketing. Scott has grown his business from the ground up to become one of the premier wireless retail companies in the US. Please join me in welcoming Scott.
Thank you. Thank you. So, XQ, or I guess why Connectivity Source, why XQ? Well, we started our company in 1999. We're a Sprint preferred retailer. And we're always trying to try new things so that we can try to stay at the forefront of the industry. And we want to deliver things to our customers that they don't expect and to try to have some sort of edge over the competition. So Texas and Louisiana, not necessarily the cutting edge of everything unless you're in Austin. And so we're trying to use this XQ to stay ahead of the curve. Some of our company goals, as I was saying, are really to deliver that experience for both our employees and for our customers, and that's what really got us interested in deploying XQ in the first place. World-class customer service, experience before, during, and after the sale is kind of a mantra. We have it on our website, we have it in our employee handbook, we talk about it all the time, and I believe that XQ really plays into to that. We've become a top preferred retailer for Sprint. We like to think we've always been there and that we will always be there. And to do that, we don't want to remain static. As I said, we really like to keep moving forward at all times. Retaining customers and maintaining our customer base is a huge thing because it's so hard to obtain a customer. Once you have them, you certainly don't want to lose them. So the experience in the store really lends to them wanting to come back time and time again. And, you know, that's where XQ really comes in for us. So why XQ? Really, it was originally ad play, I think, that got me really interested in XQ. And in this slide, you can see a picture of Sprint's very planogram-centric, as I see a few of you guys out there that I know that are Sprint dealers. And this is an example of like a mandated 4x5 graphic that we've put in the store, but on both sides of it, we have the ad play screens. And essentially what we've done is we've taken things like buyback or employee discounts for where someone works or something like that, and we've taken what Sprint calls e-flyers, and we've taken those and we've adopted them to these screens. So every 20-30 seconds, the screens will flash and change, and it's my feeling that we're messaging to the customer, but more importantly, we're also reminding our employees over and over again, you know, what they should be saying to the customers. It does attract their attention, and I mean, consistent messaging, everyone knows it's a huge struggle. I believe earlier they were talking about in the retail profit session that maybe we need robots to do these things and to do them reliably. Well, this might be a step in that direction. It's not a robot, but it's a screen. Browse is something that we look at and we think this is really good for our new retail reps. It's really a guide where they're not going to forget something. So in this store in particular that you're seeing this slide, it's a service and repair center. So some customers will just go walk over to it and you can tap it and it'll just start playing with it and going through the stuff, and we encourage that. But then when the salespeople are on the floor, especially when it's a new salesperson, it really, like I said, is a guide. And They don't forget to assume the sale on accessories, things like that. It pops up in the order that you'd like it to pop up in. I'm covering all these, sorry, and I'm not great with the clicker, but anyway, informed decisions are great. Comparing, I know that they showed earlier also in one of the keynotes or in the product announcement where you can compare phones side by side. And I originally felt that, well, that's why we have fact tags and that's why we have this stuff on the phones. But believe it or not, people really do, they like it, and they get it up, they compare features, and they make a more informed decision, and this will take them a step closer to making a decision in the store instead of having to go home and mull on the decision, if you will. I think it's 3 weeks old. And not to give them a shameless plug, but Palmer Promotional Products made this kiosk for us. General Growth, the landlord's very difficult on how they want the stuff to look in their malls and everything. They built this into the kiosk. What we like about Stream, in some kiosks, for anyone that have a kiosk, you can either hawk customers or you can't. And you can stand there and say, hey, what do you have for cellular? Can I talk to you about cellular? And some you have to sit in the kiosk with your hands behind you and just wait for someone to approach you. This is one of those malls where you cannot hawk customers. So the idea behind Stream was to have the accessories and the phones kind of floating around so that someone looks at the kiosk instead of just a static piece of furniture there and says, oh, what do they have going on over there? So they will approach us now and they'll touch the screen, it'll pull it up, it'll have an item, it'll have a QR code on there. It's very interactive, but it's really something in motion, and it really brings people closer to the kiosk. Of course, again, not great with the PowerPoint. But anyway, we launched this back at CTIA earlier this year in New Orleans, and we did a combination of browse and ad play in an inline retail store. Stream came up later in our kiosks, but this is a picture of one of the retail stores. And again, there's an AT&T corporate store across the street. It was convenient. We were remodeling this store at the time. CTI was there, so XQ was very cooperative in wanting to help us get this store launched. And we're really just trying to have a better experience than the corporate store across the street. So if someone's shopping between the AT&T store and the Sprint store, they're like, this is a very technology-forward store, and they get excited about being there. They feel like it's advanced. They're buying an advanced smartphone, and hopefully they would rather do business with us than they would do business in the AT&T store. We've had some pretty good results, and I'll give you a couple disclaimers on this slide right here. This is number of items per invoice, and the XQ store and the non-XQ stores. And you're going to wonder, why is it higher beforehand in the non-XQ store? Right when we put this in, we're also remodeling this store and going to a new furniture package as well. So we've surpassed where we were even in the uplift from the non-XQ stores, which I think is pretty impressive. I mean, it's 2.7, I believe, which is one of our highest stores in our company. The next one is profit per customer. Everybody's interested in that. And I think the slide speaks volumes for how we're doing in that store. It's also, this one may be a little misleading where you're like, okay, but your profit per invoice is higher in a non-XQ store. The XQ store is in New Orleans. Some of our other stores are in higher end areas, and so if you see the lower metric, it also was a measurement period taken before Sprint launched the iPhone and after Sprint launched the iPhone, and then there's some city factors that have to go in there as well. But we're very happy with the results, as you can see on this slide. Next, we're going to watch a video from one of our store managers who is incredibly excited about XQ.
My name is Elena, and I am the store manager of Connectivity Source, Sprint Preferred Retail Dealer in New Orleans, Louisiana. XQ Interactive Retail, I really like that it's an exciting and engaging way for both the customer and your retail consultants. It's exciting because it's not only new, but it's something that people can become involved with. Becoming involved in your experience, your retail experience within a store is the new retail way, in a sense. When customers come in, they expect to be acknowledged and involved. And when you have a busy store, at the moment in time, they might not be able to be involved, but with XQ Interactive Retail, they can begin their process, setting expectations for themselves, being able to notice new products that they might not know existed within the store. And then your retail consultant is able to come in and heighten their experience through visual aid and being able to touch with them and create a basket. I would have to say that's probably one of my favorite parts of it. Being able to not have to memorize every aspect of each individual product, because that's impossible. You can't, there's no way you can practically expect that of your employees. Being able to have a tear sheet and read through what's there, comparing it to one product to another. Sometimes you have technologically savvy customers that would like you to be able to spit out any terms that would be of technical jargon. It works for training for the employee to be able to, you could take them straight to it and, let's say, do a role-playing session. They can read through and see what they know and what they do not know, what they should work on more and what they already know. Well, XQ Interactive Retail definitely helps customers make a decision at a free will kind of basis. Often retail, you come into a store and people are pushing products upon you. With XQ Interactive Retail, they're able to choose it themselves. They see that it exists there, and through the guidance of a retail consultant, they can make an educated decision that they feel confident in whenever they're purchasing a product. They're able to see what fits their needs or doesn't fit their needs with the help of the retail consultant and put it in the basket themselves. Once you create a basket, the speed is increased because all of your SKUs that normally you would have to go through in creating a customer profile, the basket exists on the side. So you can dump everything that a customer has liked or has an interest within into the transaction that you've already started. So it definitely speeds up the process. XQ Interactive Retail has really heightened our customers' experience from the moment that they walked in the door. A lot of times, I find that customers would like, after hearing about, before we had XQ Interactive Retail, customers would want to go home and do their own research. With XQ Interactive Retail, it's a place that they can go and do their research within the store, so they never have to leave the store. Your sale can be finalized within a store knowing that they feel confident because they've been able to look and review the product. Wait time has completely, the perspective of a customer's wait time has gone down immensely.
Just so you guys know, that video was taken while the store was open full of customers. So she truly is a multitasker. She's not being distracted by all the customers in her store, and we apologize for the background noise, but couldn't really close the store to do the video. In summary, I really think that XQ has helped us in a lot of different ways, and I think you can use it really strategically, whether it's attracting customers at a kiosk or whether it's messaging. You can use pieces of it strategically, or you can use all of the pieces holistically in one store, and I think it really heightens the customer's feeling in the store, and hopefully it's allowing us to deliver a better product to the customers. So thank you. Thanks for having me. We'll get through that PowerPoint. Trigger's on the bottom.
Thank you so much, Scott. Joel, it's your turn. So I'd like to introduce Joel. Joel is a retail marketing manager with SaskTel. Joel started at SaskTel almost 15 years ago while attending university. He started in the call center, working in various queues, and once he graduated with a bachelor degree in business, a major in marketing, and minor in human resources, moved into the marketing department. Joel has worked in a number of different marketing jobs over the past 10 years, including high-speed internet, business development, consumer solutions, Max TV, conferencing, and now most recently in retail marketing. Please join me in welcoming Joel.
Thanks, Tara. Listening to that makes me realize I don't know if nobody wanted me, or maybe everybody wanted me. I moved around quite a bit, but anyways. So SaskTel, who we are. We're a telecommunications company based in Saskatchewan. For those of you that don't know, that's just north of Montana and North Dakota. I was talking with my wife this morning. I'm very glad to be here, not only with you guys, but with this great weather. She had to scrape the windows on the car this morning, so she is expecting a good gift for me to go shopping here later. SaskTel has about 1.4 million customer connections. On the wireless side, we have about 600,000 wireless customers, and we also have a IPTV service called, we brand Max, which we have about 90,000, and we have about 230,000 internet customers and about 530,000 wireline customers. We're despite having decent numbers for Saskatchewan, we're a fairly small regional player. Our wireless customers, we only make up about 2% of the overall wireless market in Canada. So we have some very big competition in our market as well. I'll show you one of our store pictures. Our flagship store in the city of Regina has 8 different competitors in that mall alone. So one of the reasons that we've looked to adopt XQ and work with iQmetrix is to differentiate on customer experience. We had a number of goals set out that I'll review here in a minute, but in regards with the XQ launch, out of the current 11 stores that we have today, 4 of them are live with XQ. We've actually been running XQ for the last 18 months. I believe we were their first client, one of the first, if not the first one. So we've got some decent results and seen some great improvements that I'll share with you later here. In addition to our 11 corporate stores, we also have 76 partner dealer locations, partnerships with 140 locations across the province. So they sell our wireless product as well, and as well as our Max TV service. So we've done a major store redesign with implementing XQ as well. We've gutted our stores completely, and you'll see some good before and after pictures here in a minute. And we're a XQ standalone solution. So we just run browse and ad play within our stores. Now here's a video here that's going to start up. It'll give you some more information.
Across the board, customers like it, staff likes it. Corporately, I think it gives us an opportunity to put our best foot forward. And the whole, now that the store actually is focusing in on the technology piece, it actually allows us to represent that whole innovation piece that SaskTel prides itself in. So. Definitely, yes. Before we just had our cell phones on the cell wall, so all you could really do was check out the phones itself. Now we see a ton of people who walk in just to check out what the screens are all about, which is really great because it's bringing in sort of a a new type of customer where they just want to check out the touchscreens. So a lot of times we'll walk up to them and say, you know, is there anything we can help you with? And they're like, no, we're just here to check out the touchscreens and check out your phones and that kind of thing. So it's bringing in a different type of customer where we don't necessarily have to hold their hand through that sales process. Well, I would see the customers that we're targeting, I mean our future customers and the younger generation customers really love it. They like that it's virtually paperless. They like that there's interactive things for them to do. The staff loves the fact that, you know, rather than going through paper documents and brochures and that kind of thing, they can just sort of take the customer through everything right there and then, and they're not killing trees in the process. So. Even if customers are waiting in line, it allows them to do something while they're waiting, so they're happier. A lot of customers, by the time we reach them, they've already had an opportunity to go through the touch screens and do some of their research ahead of time. When you look at our competitors, there's a lot of work that they do to target sort of our younger demographic customers and those looking for technology. So this allows us to better reach those customers.
Transform the in-store experience with XQ Interactive Retail from iQmetrix.
Okay, so that showed a bit of a time-lapse video of our installation process and implementing XQ within the store as well. Now here's a look at what that store looked like before. You may think to yourself that you're back at yesterday's 80s party, but that picture was actually taken right before the redesign. So you can see how much of a difference it's made. It's kind of bright and you know, it's open and inviting for customers. I'll show you. This is the shot of the front entrance of the store. I'll steal a bit of thunder from one of the slides coming up, and that's, this store is very busy. It gets over 1,000 people a day. Foot traffic is up about 15% since we've done the redesign. Of those numbers, about 35% of that is sales related. The others make up bill payment, and we do a repair service within the store as well, and just customer questions and things like that. So when we first set out with the store redesign, we had 4 main goals in mind. Revenue growth, increasing customer satisfaction, strengthening the brand, and increasing productivity. So I'll go into a little bit of detail on how we've accomplished these things and seen some great results. Customer satisfaction, you know, it's all about making the customer's trip to the store painless. It's buying a phone, there's a lot of different variables and a lot of different options for customers. And we've heard great feedback with our customer satisfaction results with XQ helping with them making that purchase decision. Now here's a look, we call these our device islands. So in all our redesigned stores we have 4 screens on each side, so we have 2 of these, so we have 8 screens running browse. We typically have 5 live devices on those units. So we use 22-inch planar multi-touch monitors that run that, and we find that to work fairly well. Now, one of the neat features, which you may have seen already as well, that they talked about at the product release, and that Scott mentioned as well, is the ability to compare products. Now, this customer must have been on a budget. I'm not sure what devices they're looking at here, a couple of Blackberries and an Incredible S, but it gives you an idea. It gives you the pricing, the specs of each of the phones, and makes it a little bit easier for the customer to make an informed decision. Now, related products. Now, this is the category that we're most excited about and has seen some great results, and that's in regards with the associated accessories. As you know, as we've heard in some of the keynotes, margins are shrinking on everything. Subsidies are going through the roof. Our SaskTel subsidy budget is about $80 million a year. So, you know, we're always looking at ways on what has margin, and that is accessories. Our profit margin on accessories is roughly 50%, and we've noticed a significant increase in accessories attachment rates, so number of devices sold along with number of accessories. Year over year, attachment rate is up about 14% throughout the stores, and accessory revenue is up 25%. So definitely seen some great gains there. We find not only is it good with the sales reps, but it's also great for customers, because we have about probably just over 200 accessory SKUs in the stores. So we don't have enough space on all our stores to display them all. So it's it's nice to be able to virtually put them here as well. We also have Hitfar in the audience, who's one of our big accessory vendors, and I'm sure he would attest too that our accessory numbers are growing each month. So we're happy with that. Year-over-year increase from the times that it shows there is up 27%, averaging now just over 100%. So we're really happy with that. And like I mentioned, it's increasing our revenue. Accessory sales actually now represent between 15 and 20% of the overall corporate store revenue, net retail sales dollars. So it's the executive and everyone else at CESO is seeing the merit in these redesigns, and with the ability to showcase the accessories and focus on getting a higher attachment rate. Now, in terms of strengthening the brand, here's 4 interactive posters that are showing some of our other services, our bundles. We have 5 bundle components. We also have Max, which is our IPTV service that I mentioned, internet, and then we have a coverage map as well. So you can see CDMA, 4G, where our Max service is available, and whatnot. So it's no more paper posters, which is nice. I visited one of the smaller stores, and they had a old BlackBerry poster up that was EOL, end of life, about 8 months prior. So, you know, it's nice from a marketing standpoint to be able to push out these messages, make them consistent. We just create the file once, we load it on the admin console, and we push it out to all locations, so we know that moment that everything is accurate and it looks good. Now, some of the results in terms of brand, you know, it's top of mind for customers. The visibility and the consistent messaging, like I mentioned, is great, and it's a consistent experience. Our store sizes vary between 750 square feet, which is in a very small market, up to 4,500 square feet. So it's tough to create that consistent experience and have enough space within our shelves to display all products that we want. And we found that with using XQ that we're able to do that. So increase in store traffic. This is mentioned this one about the Regina store, averaging over about 1,000 customers a day. That number, like I mentioned, is up about 15%. We were averaging about 850 customers a day prior. The Prince Albert store, all the stores have actually seen great increases. It's up about 15% as well. Swift Current was our, it's another store, another location in Saskatchewan. When we first opened, that one saw increases of close to 30% for the following 6 months. It's still up around 20%. The reason for that one there is we built an exterior entrance on the mall as well, and it's more of the destination for that mall. So that's seen some great results. You can see the feedback there. One of the comments out of our surveys, this was a 15-year-old kid, so I guess it's a good message saying the store is sick. That was one of the comments. So enhanced customer experience. So this one here is the most relevant customer data that we have from Q2 2012. So those our survey results have shown touchscreens as the highest category had the biggest increase over Q1. So what I mean when we say touchscreens, it was broken down into 4 different questions. The ability to make a purchase more quickly, provided adequate information, useful accessories suggested, and waiting more enjoyable. Also making the store standing out, so there's 5 points there. So that's great to see. We always monitor customers. We have quarterly surveys. We also do surveys with customers after they leave the store. We usually do about 10 a week or so we've got good data from that as well. It's more just the overall wow factor. Like I said, price is becoming less and less of a differentiator in the market. So then you got to ask yourself, how do you differentiate yourself? And that's with the in-store experience and making the customer's trip to the store painless, like I mentioned prior. The overall store survey results are at 79%. Our corporate target is 77%. So the stores are definitely helping contribute to increase the overall corporate target of customer perception and satisfaction within our market. So just in summary here, just wanted to say, recap, that we've seen increased traffic. We've increased the attachment rates up about 14%. Our customer satisfaction scores are going up. We have good brand recognition within our market, and definitely increased sales productivity. And with that, I mean, in terms of customers, like I mentioned, we have 1,100 customers or 1,000 customers a day in the Regina store. We only have 15 reps that are working there. So the question is, how are they managing all that traffic? And part of the benefit of having the XQ is that it keeps them entertained and informed, speeds up that decision, as we saw in the other video. The customer is more well-versed in terms of the promos that are on, the pricing, and the device that they want. And we've seen some good gains there. So in summary, just wanted to say I'm looking forward to continuing on with the rollout of XQ to the remainder of our stores. We're doing 2 more this year, and looking to do the rest next year as well. So if anyone has any questions, I don't have any Miami Heat tickets to give out, but I'd be happy to take them. Well, it's like I said, the benefits that we've seen with the 4 goals that we had with revenue, increased revenue, customer satisfaction, brand recognition, overall wow factor for your market. So it's all about, if you want to become the leader in your industry, in your market, to take the step forward. It's kind of like what Bill Strickland was talking about in his presentation, saying, someone's got to put their foot forward and do it first. And I think if you did that in your market, you'd be surprised that you'd have some good results. So I would recommend it. It's the implementation cost for just doing XQ alone isn't very significant compared, relatively speaking, to the rest of your costs within your store. So it might be worth trying it. You don't have to do the full-fledged redesign that SaskTel has undergone. In our flagship store there in Regina, you're right, there's around 200,000 people in that city. And we launched with 18 interactive screens. So definitely if you're in a smaller market, you don't need to roll out that many, but I would encourage you to try it and see what you think, what your results are.
What's the smallest market you guys currently have XQ launched in? Joel, I know you guys do some smaller cities.
Well, we're in, Swift Current would be our smallest, and there's about 18,000 people that live there. Oh, I can answer that one. For our stores, what we've gone to is a greeter model, kind of similar to an Apple store, like a concierge. So customers come in, they ask them what they're there for, they show them the screens, kind of give them a quick, if they have time, they give them a quick little tutorial. It's fairly explanatory though. Once you just touch it and play around with it, it's pretty intuitive. So we haven't. Like we can run reports on the browse to see how many people are touching or clicking which devices. So our marketing team likes that as well, in terms of what's not moving as fast as they'd like. Maybe do a promotion on those type of things. And sorry, the second piece of your question?
Can you stay open?
For ours, we didn't. We went to a temp location, but that's because we did a full-blown redesign, as you saw in that time-lapse video. But just to implement the XQ piece,
in one of our deployments, you don't have to close. It just depends if you're doing a remodel of the entire store. It's very easy to just implement putting the media players in and putting the screens out. It takes a little bit of training with your employees. Again, I don't think y'all had asked the question about what if you don't need to do it. I mean, I think everyone has access to the internet, so it's really kind of trying to put your foot forward and saying, I'm relevant with technology in the way that people want to buy things. And I think it was in one of the slides, it's kind of a wow factor. And I do think it makes the store more appealing. We are in the technology business. If we were selling paint or something like that, it might not make as much sense. But since we're selling smartphones and data connections and stuff like that, I think it's right in line with our product.
Well, I think that's our time, guys. Thank you so much for attending.